Welcome to the Line Life podcast. I'm Jeff Postlethwaite, Senior Editor of T&D World, and today we're bringing you more stories of the grit, courage, and inspirational teamwork that it takes to be a line worker.
Hello and welcome to the Line Life podcast. My name is Amy Fishbach and I'm the field editor for T&D World magazine. For this episode, we are focusing on the grid reliability upgrade projects underway in Puerto Rico. Today, I'm talking with Dr. Shay Bahramirad, Senior Vice President, Engineering, Asset Management, and Capital Programs for LUMA in Puerto Rico. Dr. Shay, thank you so much for joining us today for the Line Life podcast.
Hi, Amy. Thanks for having me.
First of all, can you discuss the progress LUMA has made towards building a next-generation electrical system and how this will improve the overall reliability?
Sure. Since assuming operations on June 1st, 2021, the over 3,000 men and women of LUMA have been focused on building a more reliable, more resilient, and more customer-focused and clean energy system for the people of Puerto Rico. And we have made historic and lasting progress in less than 2 years. We have, just to name you a few, we have replaced over 5,000 poles, and by replacing them, we have brought them to industry best practices, and these assets are going to withstand 160 miles per hour. We have installed over 480 automatic outage reduction devices. These automation devices are going to help finding where the outages are and restore customers more timely, and cleared over 1,300 mile hazardous vegetation. Because of these efforts, customers are experiencing improved reliability through fewer and shorter outages, with a 25% reduction in frequency and 35% reduction in duration of outages compared to 1 year ago. We have also connected 54,000 customers to rooftop solar. As a result, Puerto Rico now ranks 7th among all the U.S. states and territories in residential solar energy adoptions per capita. We are strengthening the entire system and improving overall resiliency and service for our customers, both now and in the long term for the generations to come.
And what are some challenges that you have faced during the modernization projects, and how have you overcome these challenges?
LUMA came to Puerto Rico nearly 2 years ago, and we assumed operation of T&D system to restore and rebuild a power grid that had suffered decades of neglect and lack of maintenance under the prior operator. And just in 7 months, Hurricane Fiona hit Puerto Rico. It was a Category 1 hurricane and caused $4 billion in damages and outages across the island. Since then, we have been working very hard at clearing vegetation and restoring and rebuilding the infrastructure across the island. We are continuing to work with FEMA and federal government to fund upcoming projects that address generation shortfalls on the island, including connecting the first land-based generator funded by FEMA this month, which will add around 150 megawatts of generation and help minimize the impact of generation-caused outages. Every day, we are thinking holistically and methodically about how a modern grid should be built, including deploying a modern energy management system, deploying accurate system models and system planning, which never existed in distribution level in Puerto Rico, and executing basic maintenance that will lead to a stronger and more resilient electric system that delivers the safe and reliable energy that all Puerto Ricans deserve now and for the years to come.
Dr. Shay, what was the driving inspiration for the modernization projects?
Our customers are the core of everything we do. We have made in our mission to not only improve the reliability of the service, but build the better energy system that our 1.5 million customers expect and deserve. we look simultaneously at the broader industry to see what is possible and focus on the specific attributes of each area of the grid to see what is needed. This has driven us to develop cutting-edge projects, including the first network microgrid projects that leverages undersea cables in Vieques and Culebra, which responds to the particular resiliency challenges of those islands, while also representing the best that the industry can provide. That project has been done in very close collaboration with Department of Energy and partnering with a number of scientists and engineers from different national labs across the country. Our vision for a better energy future begins with building a more reliable, more resilient, and more customer-focused and cleaner energy system that can withstand the tests of time.
And now can you describe how your crews are removing hazardous vegetation? How is LUMA identifying the hazard trees and prioritizing which vegetation is removed?
Vegetation is the number one cause of outages in Puerto Rico. To date, we have cleared, as I mentioned earlier, hazardous vegetation over 1,300 miles of power lines, as well as 100% of our substations throughout the system to help improve reliability and make way for modernization and upgrade projects across the island. Our crews have also cleared and worked through that across numerous stations for over 400 substations in the island. We prioritize clearing in the areas that they are most needed and where it will have the greatest impact in reliability and resiliency. And it's been working in the sense that you see the impact of it on the both reduction of frequency of outages as well as the duration of outages.
And how are you using ground and aerial inspections like drones? And in what areas of the service territory is this work being done?
We have been using a variety of technologies to support our efforts, including drones or LiDAR and different types of cameras and sensors. These efforts are island-wide, and today we have patrolled and inspected 100% of our 115 kV and 230 kV transmission lines across Puerto Rico using state-of-the-art thermal imaging technology. We continue to utilize the data collected from these imaging to make better decisions, data-driven decisions to make improvement in the system.
Can you give an example of some hazardous vegetation removal and how it'll impact your electric system reliability?
The state of vegetation in Puerto Rico has given us a lot of opportunity for improvement. In one neighborhood, by clearing vegetation, we were able to see half of an older pole dangling in front of an elementary school. In other areas, the vegetation clearing we are doing is making it possible for us to execute the repairs without which we would likely see more of the island-wide outages and blackouts that have historically affected Puerto Rico.
And LUMA is also replacing tens of thousands of streetlights. Who is performing this work? And are they installing new streetlights with LED technology? And how is the energy efficiency improved by the new technology?
LUMA's historic $1 billion FEMA-funded community streetlight initiative will support the installation of over 300,000 streetlights across all of Puerto Rico's 78 municipalities. And we are not just replacing the streetlights, we are also upgrading them. Through this initiative, LUMA's crews, together with our contractors, have repaired or replaced more than 37,000 streetlights in Puerto Rico to date. Every streetlight that we install utilizes the next generation LED light that use approximately 65% less energy and can last 4 times longer than conventional streetlight bulbs. And this is an important energy efficiency effort that will have long-term benefit for Puerto Rico.
And next, I'd like to talk about the substation work. Can you describe how the aging substations are being modernized and what are some new technologies that will be integrated into the substations?
We are doing quite a lot in substation area. Look, we are transitioning to fully digitized modern substation with state-of-the-art of technology of 61850. Through our FEMA-funded substation modernization initiative, we are working to not only restore, but fully rebuild and modernize each and every substation through the island, which will increase the safety of our operation, reduce outages, and improve energy reliability across the system for all our customers. Through this work, we are making upgrades from replacing oil circuit breakers with gas circuit breakers and elevate portions of the substations that are in 10-year flood zone, adding fiber optic for communication, to deploying advanced sensors like phaser measurement units to improve our situational awareness and wide area protection to provide enhanced resiliency. We are also looking at the system holistically to think about how we can plan the system in a manner that improve the resiliency and sustainability of the whole system and enable more renewable energy in the island.
And what are some best practices or lessons learned when upgrading and modernizing substations?
When rebuilding the grid, we need to take this opportunity to use the best proven technology that meets the particular needs for each substation. This is specifically significant as climate change is making the challenges we are facing even more severe, and especially where we are located in the country in a hurricane zone. And what used to be 500 flood zone is often now 100 or even 50-year flood zone and require appropriate responses. We have also moved away from antiquated design of substations from stray bus to double ring or breaker and a half in a more modern way to improve resiliency of the system.
And what about animal-caused outages, copper theft, or severe storms? How are you making your substations more resilient to these challenges?
Our FEMA-funded substation modernization initiative is dedicated to rebuilding some of the grid's most crucial infrastructure while increasing resiliency and reliability during severe weather events. We are installing animal control equipment to protect against local wildfire, utilizing copper-clad steel to secure our equipment. We are also strengthening the security and safety of the substations by further clearing hazardous vegetation and also conducting critical repair assessments of all our substation equipment. We also work very closely with local and federal law enforcement agencies against the tampering of electric equipment in order to protect all our employees and contractors and customers and communities.
And out of the 11 substations, how many are complete with the upgrade projects and how many are still ongoing, and who is doing the modernization work?
Earlier this year, we announced progress as part of LUMA's substation modernization initiative at the El Conquistador substation in Trujillo Alto. The modernization work is just one of the 11 substation modernization projects happening in 2023 that was made possible by $101 million in already approved by federal funds. Over coming months, LUMA will also make historic progress on substations in Aguirre, Anisco, Catania, Culebra, Monacio, Mora, Rio Grande, and Sabanaliana, Venezuela, and Vieques. We will look to bring in partners from across the U.S. as needed and local contractors who can best support us as well as execute this innovative and important work.
And you are also helping to connect your homeowners to rooftop solar. How are the line crews involved in this kind of work?
We are committed to Puerto Rico public policy, and people of Puerto Rico have decided to have 100% of the energy by clean energy, and we are fully supporting the growth and of renewable energy. In fact, no one has done more on the ground to accelerate the clean energy transformation in Puerto Rico than LUMA. As I might have mentioned previously, we recently reached a significant clean energy milestone. We have helped connect more than 54,000 customers to rooftop solar, representing 330 megawatts of clean energy added to the grid. As a result, Puerto Rico now ranks 7 among all U.S. states and territories in residential solar energy adoption per capita. All of this progress is thanks to the hard work of our 3,000 LUMA women and men who continue helping to connect more than 3,400 additional rooftop solar customers to the grid each month as we build a cleaner and more resilient energy system for Puerto Rico.
And can you talk about how the modernization projects will help Puerto Rico to withstand severe storms like future hurricanes?
Puerto Rico requires a simultaneous focus on having a grid that is reliable and resilient. We have faced 3 hurricanes in the past 6 years, and the reality of climate change means we need to expect more and not fewer disruptive events. Everything we do is focused on ensuring the grid has the capabilities to withstand severe storms, from deploying poles that can withstand 160 mile per hour wind to enhancing situational awareness with advanced sensors and improving grid flexibility. Additionally, we are clearing vegetation to mitigate hazards and installing automation devices that help restore power more quickly. And by doing this the right way, we can allow the grid to integrate the clean energy generation that can improve service for all our customers across Puerto Rico.
And do you have any other comments about the upgrade projects?
Building the grid in Puerto Rico is an opportunity to demonstrate how LUMA and the industry as a whole can make communities more reliable to drive economic activity and more sustainable to mitigate climate change and more resilience in the face of natural disaster. And we've already seen the results in Puerto Rico with historic reductions in customer interruptions in less than 2 years of activity. These successes have come not only from hard work at LUMA, but close collaborations with stakeholders in the local and federal government, from FEMA and the Department of Energy to the leadership of various parts of Puerto Rico government. We have made incredible progress in just 2 years, but we know that there is more work to be done, and we are excited for what's to come and the progress to be made in Puerto Rico in the years ahead.
Dr. Bahramirad, thank you so much for taking the time to share LUMA's story with our Line Life podcast listeners. We enjoyed hearing how your utility is preparing the grid for the future and increasing resiliency and reliability.
Thank you, Amy, for having me.
This episode of the Line Life podcast was written, recorded, and edited by Amy Fishbach. It was produced by Jeff Postlewaite. That's me. To listen to past episodes, visit www.tdworld.com/podcasts or find us at Podbean. You could also drop us a voice memo or message at linelifepodcast@gmail.com with your comments on this episode. We'd love to hear from you. Please follow this show on Podbean or your favorite podcasting app to be updated when new episodes are released. Thank you for listening.